Okay, so we were saying that in order to find the exact voltage out, we need to solve a voltage divisor. Remember that the formula for a voltage divisor says V out is going to be equal to the voltage of the source times the resistor 1 divided resistor 1 plus resistor 2. Okay? In our case, we have the problem that says that we have 9 volts as the voltage in, and we need a voltage of 5 volts as a voltage out for our load, or for the motor that we are going to use. So this is a very practical and problem in real life, because this is what happens. You never have the source wanted for the amount of motors or the load that you are going to put either in your factory or your company. So you need to make an arrangement with resistors that can lower that value. So this is a very simple equation. What we do is that we create an R1 and we establish this R1. It can be any value. Okay, in my case, I'm going to say it's 1K. Okay, so if it's 1K, I can find the value of R2. Remember that you can't solve an equation, one equation with two variables. So here we pretend, or we just take away one of the variables by giving it a value. Okay, and actually we can give it that value. We can just add 1K. So let's just put all the information that we have in the equation. So the voltage out will be 5 volts. Okay, now the voltage in will be 9 volts times R1, that it's 1K. Okay, this would be 1 times 10 to the power of 3. That's easier for you to understand and put in the calculator. R1 is 1 times 10 to the power of 3. Okay, plus R2. Now we need to find this value. Okay, so let's just solve this equation very easily. I'm going to say 1K plus R2. Okay, it's all multiplied by 5 volts equal 9 volts times 1K. Okay, now here let's make this distribute property. Okay, and we have 5K plus 5R2, okay, will be equal to 9 volts times 1K. Now I want to leave this alone so I can solve it. Okay, so I would have 9 volts times 1K will be 9K, okay, minus 5K. Remember that these are values. Actually, they're not variables. Remember that these are values. 9 times 10 to the power of 3. Okay? And finally, I would have R2 would be 9 times 10 to the power of 3 minus 5 times 10 to the power of 3 divided 5. Now, if I do this, okay, take away this, and take away this, it would be 9 minus 5 would be 4. Okay, 4 times 10 to the power of 3 over 5. Okay, so here I have 4 divided 5 is equal to, give me a second, 4 divided 5, and we have 0.8. Now here we have 0.8. Now remember that this is the value that I'm looking for. Okay, so since we have 0.8 and since we have 10 to the power of 3, let's move 3 positions. 1, 2, 3. So we have 800. So our value is resistor 2 will be equal to 800 ohms. Okay, more or less about 1K. So this is where we have to establish the potentiometer, okay, in order to get our value, okay, in order to get the 5 volts. So this is a very simple equation. You can solve it for any of the cases that you want. Just having, you can change the voltage out to 3 or 2 or 1, whatever you want. And of course you can use any resistor that you have at that moment. Okay? Very good. So that's what you got to do.